make money. Couple of bettors.
I hate doing this so much.
What's up, everybody? Episode 12, couple of bettors. I thought I'd wear this shirt because it's really appropriate today. It says it's only money because we had a bad week of betting. So it's only money. We'll figure it out.
We had a bad week for many reasons.
I guess. Oh, Bills?
Of course, it just keeps going.
Keeps going.
Keeps going.
So first off, everybody knows what's happening here. Weekend at Bernie's. Look at this guy. We got him doing photo ops now. I mean, Park MGM. If you ever go over there, they actually have a pretty nice little swing here. You can take a picture of you and your loved one.
Yeah, maybe
We
you'll
opted
actually
out.
sit on it, unlike him.
Yeah, he was just standing there. He looked confused,
Yes.
but he had a good time. All right, next up, you got Vegas. Now, normally this is the one where somebody came to town, they got intoxicated, maybe they had a little too much Vegas. We wanted to highlight this one. This is a pretty interesting little article. TMZ put it out there.
You know it's quality.
Vegas sex worker is offering a VIP deal for the Raiders. So if you're a Raider, you're going to get 50% off of sex at the Chicken Ranch. Now, everybody's heard of the Bunny Ranch. This is like kind of a competitor. It's called the Chicken Ranch.
God.
Yeah, and it's out there where it's free. The ladies get tested. I think it's every couple days. Do you hope?
Let's hope you don't get in the middle of those days.
Exactly. She go, the test came in today, but what happened the last 2 days? Let's not ask her, okay? But I love the little quote here. I'm offering my VIP package to Raiders players and staff because the team has brought so much positivity and joy to the Vegas area.
Their losing record.
Well, she put this out there in September. She might have reneged on this deal. I'm not sure. But
It's like you get 10% off now.
yeah, but Vegas players, if you want to go out to the Chicken Ranch, you're about to get Vegas.
That little tattoo, too. I strongly suggest not doing any of this.
Where?
She's got a little cannabis tattoo on there. Looks very
Ooh.
fresh.
Is that a palm tree?
No.
Okay. Anyway. All right. Let's face it.
Well, I'll start with
Sure.
a lovely Saturday, Mr. Saturday. We just had to really put it out there that the man did a great job. He was first ever time coaching the Colts, but Jesus, he was on the Colts team as a coach for like 2 days, and because they won, pretty much has nothing to do with him. Yes, it's fun. I think this is great. You fire one coach, you bring in some other random guy that like hasn't have any coaching experience last minute. That's sick. He enjoyed himself for sure, but everybody is talking him up about what a great job he did. There's nothing he could have done within those couple days. I do appreciate him going back with Matt Ryan. I mean, I think that was probably part of his deal. Like something's got to be different. But
And maybe they even, so like that was a weird thing. So they put Matt Ryan in. Maybe they did it where the owner said, no more Matt Ryan, blah, 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 because he wanted the other coach to lose so that he didn't feel bad firing him. I mean,
you never know in
you
these,
don't know
these
what's going
things.
on.
But
I
like,
love
listen, go have fun, man. Enjoy it. I hope you do well. But we should not be talking him so highly as if he had anything to do with their win this Sunday. It's too soon.
I saw him with the headset on, and you know how they have the microphone that comes out in front of the mouth? It was up.
Yeah, he's
not talking to anybody. Whatever, how could? And I don't blame the guy. I mean, he just has to get used to the playbook, the whole thing. I mean,
it's not his fault, but we cannot give him all the accolades
all the credit
that we've been giving him.
for
That's
being
ridiculous.
a hype man for 3 days, basically.
Give it two more games. If they're still winning, okay, then So, anyways, that's Jeff Saturday.
TJ Watt,
He's back.
he's back.
He's back, and he only played one game with the Steelers, but they were 10 times better. They won. I think it's sad to know that there is actually one player on your team that is most needed, and it's not a quarterback in order for you to win. But he's back, so now anybody who plays the Steelers at this point, you got a little more work to do than you did before he showed up. So welcome back, TJ Watt, JJ Watt.
TJ Watt.
Whatever. Which one of
Although
the Watts?
JJ is actually playing again, and he had a sack over the weekends, but it's TJ, his little brother.
TJ, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
The Watts, I hate them. They're just like, the whole family are beasts. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's unfair. I got none of those genes, so take them all.
Do you want to go Justin Jefferson? To make it quick?
Oh, yeah. We all know. If you live under a rock, he made a great catch against the Bills. Moving on.
And he had 193 yards receiving, which is insane.
Okay, we're leaving that off. It was supposed to be this.
All right, Michael Chandler and Dustin Poirier. We watched UFC this weekend.
It's the most horrifying fight I've ever seen. Now listen, I don't watch a lot of UFC fights. I really don't like it that much, but if I'm there, I'm putting my money on it. The man was drooling blood into the other man's eyeballs and face. It was gnarly. It was disgusting. It was hard to watch. Won some money on those fights, but that was we just had to point out that was.
If I could put a video up, I will. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to, but he was literally blood's dripping on his face, and he's trying to direct it to be dripping on the guy that he's fighting. And
I would have tapped out. Like, I'm not eating this man's snotty, nasty blood. Thank you very much.
I wonder if they get AIDS tested twice every other 2 days, right?
You have to do it with that. That was so nasty. So moving on because I am going to vomit.
All right, we'll end on a happy note. So I'm going to go for the last guy first over there. Aaron Patrick. So it was a few weeks ago. The Broncos are playing the Chargers, and this guy runs off. He's trying to make a tackle, runs off the sideline, and then there's like a timeskeeper or somebody who's doing some sideline stuff. He wants to avoid him, so he makes a turn. And there's a lot of cables and stuff on the sideline for the coaches, gear, all the stuff that have to wire up on the sideline. And they put these like carpets basically over them, and you'll see that they're like black carpets on the sideline. And players have been complaining about it for a while because they think every time they go over to them, they're slipping on them. They're like turf shoes are not gonna catch on these carpets. Sure enough, that's what happened to this guy. His knee, whatever, he slips, tears his ACL, out for the season. So he's got a lawsuit going right now against SoFi Stadium, against the Chargers. He roped the Rams in there too. And I don't blame him. It sucks. His whole season's done. Who knows what that's going to do for his future earnings? So he put that in as part of the lawsuit. He said, any future earnings that I might lose because of this, this whole thing. And so it's interesting to see when the NFL gets sued by a player, but I kind of get it.
I mean, they can't all start suing, but in this one, good luck to you. Hope you win some money.
And even if he doesn't win a bunch of money, if it changes and they get these carpet, make it safer for the players. I see it a lot of times where you'll see somebody, it's like a camera guy, and the player's jumping over so he doesn't hit the camera guy. It's just like, get the fuck out of the way, or put pads on the guy or something. If he's got to be on the sideline.
It is rough.
Yeah.
But it's all part of the game. I don't know.
Do you want to take these guys?
No.
Why?
Well, okay. Fine. I didn't care because I already talked about most of them. But we just thought it was interesting. Seahawks and Bucks played in Munich. Again, most of you were probably sleeping.
It's Germany, Deutschland.
It was very early in the morning on Sunday. But, Brady ended up being the first quarterback to win, to play and to win in 4 different countries after this game. But we thought it was more fantastic was that they all the German fans knew the words to Old Country Road, which I asked him a million questions, like, why is that the song? That
just Country Road.
Country
You're
Road.
Old Town Road.
Old Town Road, whatever. Yeah, I don't even know the song.
Country Roads.
Just like they know the words to this country song called Country Roads, but also they got to drink pitchers of beer the entire game, like not cans of beer, literally pitcher size things of beer. So I thought that was, way to go, Munich. You might as well do more games over there because they just seem to know how to have a good time. Yeah.
I wonder, though, when they let them do that stuff, is that just really kind of like bad that in the U.S. they won't let us because we can't control ourselves?
I mean, we've seen the stories, and we are controlled, so we are all better off. I don't know if there were stories about them not being able to control themselves afterwards. Yeah. Did they cut them off halfway through? Did they go the whole way? They probably didn't tailgate first because they probably don't know what that is. I mean, half of us come in there hammered to begin with. So
that's a good point, the tailgating.
There's a lot to consider with that, but let's face it.
Do you want to get there for Oktoberfest one day, though?
I don't drink beer. It'd be useless for me.
True. All right, where do we watch the games? So we bounced around in a bunch of different places, but we wanted to show you spots that we haven't put up here before. So we were watching the game at the bar, and then we watched some UFC fights at Skybox, which we talked about in the past. But here are 2 places that are more like local spots that were in Henderson.
Mm-hmm. Off the strip.
Yeah, off the strip. So the first one is the Lodge. That was a pretty cool spot. A lot of TVs there, right? They're, TVs all over the place. They always have the little, joker poker machines in front of you so you can lose money while you're watching the game.
Pretty much every off the strip bar has, you can gamble at. But it did have like that modern Lodge feeling, like not crazy, fireplace and antlers, but a lot of wood and a lot of warm lighting. So if you want to go in just, to see something new, the lodge wasn't bad. But we talked to you guys about the bar before. It's literally called the bar. That's it. This one is called Born and Raised, but it spells out bar. So
yes,
it can get confusing.
That's what I think this was great, actually.
This I want to go back to. That was good.
Because it was on Sunday, and it was for the second game. And it seems like a place on like a Friday and Saturday night that could actually start getting good.
Yeah, they play with DJ.
Massive amount of TVs in the back and big ones. So they have the giant screen one. They had side room if you wanted to have private events and,
lounge areas if you want that. So I assume they do bottle service. We didn't look into it that much.
Yeah, and we got food to go.
Food
it was great food menu and great food. So good spot. Definitely be back there. Now, this is the slide I would like to glance over as fast as possible coming up, okay? Last week's betting review. Let's go through it real quickly. Losing.
Yeah.
Not a good one. Now, we hit 44%, which is bad, but it could be worse.
The UFC fights helped us out.
UFC fights helped us.
Especially me. I picked up some extra ones.
I'll be honest with you. The big drivers here, the Bills, right? So that was a 3-unit loss on the Bills. I was loading the boat on them, and we all know how the game went. If that 4th and 18 pass with Justin Jefferson, he doesn't catch it, it's game over, and they cover. Because I had him at 3. That was a 4-point winner at that point. We know about that. We also know that they stopped them on 4th and goal, and if they just get 1 yard out of there, that's another winner. Didn't happen. We'll move on from that.
Thank you.
Cowboys.
Oh, I'm done with the Cowboys.
The Packers. The Packers come out with a big win. I ended up loading the boat on them, and then I'm losing. I got between the two of us, we had 2.75 units.
Cowboys were my lock of the week last week.
Lock of the week, and then I put on additional money for the second half. Lost that. So between those two games, that's 4 and 4, 8 units alone from those two games. So
I just do have to say, shout out to Rick Holberg. I probably did jinx you accidentally. I will not be betting on the Cowboys anymore. So don't worry about it.
Our locks of the week were the Bears and the Cowboys. Rick and the Cowboys. His brother Jimmy loves the Bears, and they both texted me, "I hope you don't jinx us."
And we did. We must make wishes for them. So no more. That will not be happening anymore.
Anyway, so that didn't work out. But, we had a few winners there, but it didn't. The ones we had sized bigger ended up losing. So the locks didn't work. What are the takeaways? I mean, we just talked about it. Game of the year, Vikings-Bills, right? Hands down. I mean, that was absurd. The amount of text messages that I got in a chain from different people, the only thing they said was, wow. Wow. Because it was going back and forth, and they go to overtime. It's like, insane. So
you'll hear my side during my rant.
I mean, Green Bay off the schneid. And beat those Cowboys. So Aaron Rodgers, after the whole stadium, he's got the microphone, whatever, and they ask him something, and he just points and he goes, "We won." And it was just like, it was kind of funny because he's basically saying to guys, "I want you to win. I want to win here, but sorry, it's been a while." And they're actually in the thick of things because of their own division and stuff. If they can get another win or two here.
Well, we'll touch on that later.
Bucks in Munich, big win against the Seahawks, and they actually looked pretty good. I mean, Brady threw a few touchdowns.
Well, Giselle's dating someone already out
I
in
heard
public,
about that.
so
Yeah.
he's got to at least do well at football.
And jiu-jitsu trainer, so it's like Tommy Boy ain't gonna be knocking on the door with his chest puffed out. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Nope. So he better win some games, I guess.
Lions big comeback against the Bears. We talked about that. I mean, first of all, terrible that the Bears get the touchdown, miss an extra point, and then the Lions just go down there, score the touchdown, kick the extra point, win 31-30. It's like, oh, God, kickers, come on, man. At least give you boys a chance to freaking win the thing in overtime or whatever. But
somebody didn't ride the bus home.
Exactly. You're cut. The Dolphins offense, man. Oh,
my God, they're so good. I hate you people.
I looked at the Super Bowl odds there. It's plus 1,400, which is not that high.
Should be lower.
The Jets are plus 5,000 to win the Super Bowl. The Dolphins are plus 1,400. Chiefs are 450.
Honestly, it should be lower. It should be lower.
Right?
That's incredibly high.
They scored. So they weren't. They weren't playing the best team in the league, but they put up 39 points, and it's just like that offense, man, is just with those skill guys. It's a scary thought.
Very scary. Ugh. I'm just waiting.
Got Niners against the Chargers. You know, I think, you know, after that McCaffrey signing, I really think that Niners are going to be, you know, up there in that NFC Championship game. Maybe it's going to be Niners-Eagles in the NFC Championship game. Kind of a throwback to the 90s there.
Gotta be honest,
Early
though,
2000s.
I would say that the Niners are gonna win because the Eagles'
had one
schedule
bad
is no.
Oh.
Their schedule has been shit, so
Okay.
that's why. And
Fair.
then we would, you know, they're if they have to play some actual teams.
Well,
I
they're
don't know
gonna
how
they're gonna have to
well
play more of the Giants and the Cowboys and right.
Giants. Hopefully, will give them a run for their money. But anyways, we'll
Yeah.
talk about that when that happens.
And then look, the Commanders a big upset right against the freaking Eagles.
Thank you, Commanders. You won us money, and it was easy at the plus 11 spread. It was not even like I fell asleep eventually because I'm like, oh, I won. Thanks. Good night.
Should have been a money line. What was the money line on that? Right,
I
it was
didn't
like
even look.
freaking
Money line is hard on that one. I'm just like, you're not going to lose by 11 points.
It was
to the
probably plus
Eagles.
600 or something.
I
Yeah.
said the Eagles are due. They were due at
They
some
were
point.
due.
Now it's hard. You can't even say that they're due anymore. But
There was some weird stuff like the deep pass that Hurts throws. Guy catches it, goes down, spins around. Nobody touches him. Gets up, and as soon as he gets up, they hit the ball out of his hands. It's like a lot of you knew that was going to happen. This is the NFL. There's going to be weird turnover games, and but the Commanders there have won. I think it's like 3 out of the last 4 games because
Heineke, they're doing better with Heineke, and that's what we're saying. I'm kind of going Commanders' way a little bit more on some of these games. So
Yeah, well. This is supposed to be the happy one, right? I mean, it started out so good in the beginning of the
it
year.
did. It was gonna be happy rants. Now it's. I still got my shirt on, though. I
gotta
still
rep 'em.
still been wearing Bills stuff all over Vegas because you know what? I love my team. I love my hometown, and shit happens, but we always get through it.
Gotta get through it. Have yourself a wing.
Yeah, or many, or a dozen. All right, so he already talked about this because he stole my little first line. But
didn't know.
This
It was
is
important.
his. And what sucks balls is this was the game of the year. Everybody's saying it's the game of the year, and it's a loss for us, but a minuscule loss. And I'm not going to focus on what we did wrong because yes, it's very obvious what we did wrong. All right, we need to work on the run game. Allen had another interception, but listen, Allen is still a superhuman. I will not blame everything on him. We need to do some work. I pray and I hope that guys feel like it's done and they've got us figured out because they'll be up for a rude awakening. Von Miller's comment at the press conference. I love you, sir. You say the right things. You motivate everybody, and that is dead on. Good. Let's give these people something to be like, oh, the Bills aren't as good. Okay, then you come in not a little less fearful of us, and then we crush you. Okay, so hopefully that's what's going to happen. I did want to bring up Bills Mafia. This is another reason. If you're not really a good fan of your own team and you need a team to be a fan of, the Bills Mafia, we are just amazing human beings. We like to drink, we like to party, and we love football. And
Sounds good.
the moms of Bills Mafia, actually 1,500 came together and wrote a letter to Josh Allen saying, it's okay. You'll do better next time. Because that's what we do.
Oh, man.
We make sure our quarterback doesn't feel bad and that he knows that we're all watching him and everything's going to be fine.
I heard they had a petition, 1,500 moms to get Zach Wilson to visit for a
Well,
weekend.
that's
Is that
probably,
true?
I think that was probably more like 3,000 moms. We're just focusing on the 1,500 for Josh Allen. Slinging bombs and banging moms.
Wow.
It's the new
I need that shirt. I
that
might have it.
Barstool ugly Christmas sweater shirt that I actually think is hilarious.
Love it.
All right, so we have something to talk about, though. Next up is the Cleveland Browns. Now, this shouldn't be an issue, this game. It should be an easy win. However, my poor hometown, people that live there, I love you. I hope you're safe. The whole week, they're just getting demolished by blizzard-like conditions. Supposed to get up about to 6 feet of snow by Sunday. This puts a whole damper on everything. They're not sure if, one, the stadium can be cleared out, if people can get to the stadium. They don't know if the Browns can make it into Buffalo for the game. With all that, they're really not sure what to do. We play on Thursday for the first Thanksgiving game, so it's not like you can move it a couple days because that's not fair to the Bills. One option is that they might play in Detroit because Detroit comes to New Jersey to play. Yeah, I said New Jersey, to play the New York Giants. So their field's open, and they have to play them Thursday morning for Thanksgiving. So that might be an option where they just go there and they stay there. But right now, everything's up in the air about what's going to happen, and the spread is constantly changing because, again, are they going to play in the snow? If they play in the snow, we don't have a good run game. The
Browns have
a great run game. Jesus Christ, I'm so nervous. I have so much emotion, but they have a great run game. I mean, I don't really want them to be playing in the snow for that specific case. It's not the 90s Bills who knew how to do this in the snow. These guys are a little less acclimated to that. But we'll see. So I wouldn't put any bets in until you know where the hell the game's going to be played, if it's going to be played, and then take a look at the spread because that's going to matter on everything. Go Bills. I know it's this whole everybody's family is going to be uprooted. Everybody's going to have a hard time. Buffalo, we're thinking about you here in Vegas where it doesn't snow. But let's go Bills Mafia. Let's go Buffalo Bills. That's all I can say. And everybody be safe.
Yep. All right, let's get into the games. We'll just roll through these pretty quickly. First up, Thursday night football. We got the Tennessee Titans taking on the Green Bay Packers. I mean, this one, we both have views on this one that are different. We're both betting the game, but it's not too different. So you like the Packers. I do not like the Packers. Right?
I think the Packers are, they just won last week. They haven't won in a while. They're at home. I don't think they're going to be a sick team at this point, where they're just going to crush every game. But I think, especially against the Titans, we really haven't heard much about the Titans. Derrick Henry has not been the Derrick Henry that, I used to fear. And so I think the Packers can win this game. I agree with Josh, though. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
It's going to be low scoring.
I think it's going to come down to the wire, but the Packers are going to pull it through. And for the Packers fans who are sweet as hell, yeah. I hope so. I hope you guys get one win.
Yeah, it was weird. So Aaron Rodgers found that receiver, Chris Watson, last week. And it was like, where has this guy been? Because he lights him up for 3 touchdowns, 100 yards receiving. If they can get that going, fine. But the reality was they didn't have Rodgers throwing much. He threw 20 times last week, and it was a recipe for a win. So you're sitting there going, if they're going to run a bunch, damn well that Tennessee's going to run a bunch. That's why I'm on the under, because it's like this is going to be a low-scoring game. It has that set up. So yeah, Packers and the under.
Yeah,
I like it.
We'll see.
We'll see. Next up, this is the Sunday early games. Panthers at the Ravens. So Baker Mayfield starting, and so that's.
I mean, we know the Ravens are going to win, but are they going to cover a -12 spread? That's a lot.
It's a lot of points. That's why we're not betting this one. But the Ravens are getting back this Mark Andrews. He's a tight end that they give the ball a lot to. Not only is he a receiving tight end, but he blocks for them too. So that's helpful. Christine would lean the over.
I definitely lean the over. I mean, especially with a spread like that, I feel like it's just going to be a high-scoring game. But again, I don't know if the Ravens can cover by 12.
I agree. Also, I think it's like, but if it's 30-14. Then maybe that's the way they get it done on both sides.
Yeah, but we're staying away.
Yeah, so many points. It's just tough.
And there's a lot of games that we want to bet on during that hour, especially watching our own games play. So
yeah, absolutely. And speaking of which,
yeah. Well, so again,
Browns versus the Bills.
We're not going to talk about this too much because we already said we don't know what's going on with the weather. Everything's up in the air. So
if it's
at home and there's snow on the ground, it's definitely go for the under. That's easy money because not much is going to happen. But again, we don't know if it's even going to be there.
If they announce that it goes to Ford Field in Detroit, I might be inclined to look at taking the Bills there because the Bills have speed, and to be in an indoor thing and you get those, you got Gabe Davis and Singletary and Diggs and all those guys where the skill position guys are going to beat the Browns. But if it's outside, snowing, the Browns run game, so it's Look at the weather, guys.
Yeah, watch the weather.
Watch the weather.
All right, Eagles at Colts. Now I know we got Jeff Saturday, on his high horse because he's making all these crazy changes and he's the coach of the year already. But the Eagles are definitely going to win. I think they'll cover this 6.5 spread, even though the Colts are at home. I still think Jeff Saturday's working with a team that is just kind of lost, and the Eagles are not lost. They they got their their due loss. Now they're probably going to take on another one.
That's exactly. I mean, you knew they needed to lose, but now that they just lost, they probably want to come back and smack somebody up pretty good.
Yep. So I don't know. This seems like pretty easy money. Should be all of our locks of the week, but we're trying to be fun here and not get the easy locks.
Exactly. This one is my lock of the week.
Ooh, that hurt.
Washington Commanders. Look, I mean, they're coming off a big road win against the Eagles. We just talked about that. Hand them the first loss, riding high. They had 40 minutes of time of possession. So 2/3 of the game, the Commanders had the ball. I just think that, Texans, one of the worst run defenses. I think that the Washington Redskins, Commanders.
My people are so offended.
Should I edit that out?
No.
I just think that
we all make that mistake. It's fine.
They're going to control the clock. I think Heineke's been good, and I think this is going to be an easy cover by 3 game. Might even be more. It's not like Washington's going to score 35,
right?
But I think that it might be one of those 20-10 type games. So that's my lock of the week. Go get it.
I agree with him.
Not like last week when I said to mortgage the house on the Bears. I'm not saying that this week.
Just put a few bucks on if you
$few
want.
dollars. All right.
I ain't touching this with a 10-foot pole. I'm not saying anything. You go, give your spiel.
Look, Jets coming off a bye, okay? They just played them a couple weeks ago. The Patriots won by 5 points. Zach Wilson threw some of the worst interceptions I've ever seen. Belichick is going to make them throw the ball. That's what he did last time. Zach Wilson had 40 attempts. He threw for 350 yards, but those picks were really terrible. I just think that putting Elijah Moore, who was one of the receivers they drafted last year, who had 40 receptions, who was targeted once last week, they're putting him in the slot. Jets coming off a bye, working him in that position. I just think they're going to give the Patriots a run for their money here, and I'm betting them money line to win the game outright. And if they win the game outright, Jets go to first place in the AFC East. So she's not going to want to hear that one, but that's what I'm betting. She's not touching it, but what did you say? If you were going to, you're thinking?
I just picked something. I hate this game.
Over,
so
okay.
Whatever.
Well, so let's see what happens.
I have no comments. This is my lock of the week. I mean, dude, I'm taking the Giants. I was all on the Lions, but now you're talking Giants versus Lions. First of all, Giants have won me money. They have been covering the last 5 out of 6 game spreads. When it comes to betting, they've just been taking over. The Lions suck. The Giants are good. I don't even know why this spread exists as it is -3 when the Giants are home. This is all silly. This is a lock. Just go. Maybe you should bet your mortgage on the Giants. That's how much I feel like this is an easy win.
Easy money.
Easy money.
Next one. This game sucks. Mm-hmm. I just
don't even bother watching it.
Don't do it.
So we'd say the under. Nothing's going to happen, but I wouldn't even bother watching it or putting money on it. I think we should move on to the next one.
I mean, we tried to find anything positive or interesting to talk about in this game. I mean, what the fuck happened with these guys? Don't know. The Saints is trash, just bad. So this is one of those they're playing for the draft pick.
If you're trying to fall asleep and you can't put this game on, that would be a good one to watch. All right, so we have the Bears and the Falcons. Now, Falcons have been doing pretty well. Bears have not been doing very well. Yeah. So I'm going Falcons -3. They're at home. It's your typical, home spread. I think they can cover it. Again, not that confident or interested in where I'm going to bet.
Yeah, look, these two teams are both coming off of bad losses here. I mean, demoralizing with the Bears losing at the end there, last second by 1 point when you missed an extra point. So that's a rough one. Yeah, I mean, I would kind of go the under just because it's 50 points. Now, I know that the Bears have scored a lot of points and let up a lot of points, and I think that's what's reflective here is the 50. But I just feel like this might be a boring one.
We don't like boring.
Next up. Well, this game kind of sucks too, though.
This game sucks, but again, we're going with the fact that we're in Vegas. The Raiders, talk about due. The Raiders are due. And it's against Russell Wilson. Come on, guys. We know he makes mistakes. He's not that good. Carr was crying this weekend after he lost. Hopefully, God will help him out somehow and, give him the little Holy Spirit shove or something so that he does better. There's a shot. The spread is close. You're basically saying, like, the Raiders are going to win by a field goal.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my money on it. We're here. Let's go, Raiders.
And last week, the Broncos' best receiver, Jerry Jeudy, went out with an ankle injury, so he's not playing. That gives an advantage.
That's helpful.
Josh McDaniels, you got the job. You used to be on the Broncos. Is it going to be a little bit of a revenge game for you to go back to the Broncos and maybe do some work there? I don't know. But, yeah, I think that this is 2.5 points. Is just the Broncos have been such shit. Now, the Raiders have been shit, too.
Right. Don't put the mortgage on this.
Don't put the mortgage.
Nah.
But the Raiders have been shit, but I feel like it's almost like with the Eagles being due to lose. These guys have to,
they're due to win.
Yeah, come on. So
Vegas needs you to win, Raiders. Get it together.
get it together. Next up, Cowboys Vikings. This is a good game.
This is a good game. Obviously, I'm taking the Vikings. If they can win against the Bills by a hair, they can definitely demolish the Cowboys. Again, sorry, all you Cowboys fans. But you guys cannot win me money. You lose. You do not cover the spread. You're losing constantly when you need to win. Going Vikings all day. I shouldn't because I should hate the Vikings, but they put up a good game against us. We deserve to lose. Thank God it was close at least, and we have some dignity. Vikings plus 1.5. Definitely think it's a winner.
It's weird. Look at this. They're 8-1, and they're home dogs here. It feels to me like this is a trap.
Yeah,
where
he says it. I'm afraid.
No, but I think it might be trapping you to say, no, you're right. Dallas is good. And then betting Dallas because this is America's team. Everybody puts the money on the Dallas. It always happens. Dallas gets more money in the public because they're watching them every freaking Sunday on TV. The Dallas game is nationally televised game. So I'm laying off this one. If I was going to do anything, I might go over with a shootout similar to what happened in the in the Bills game where they're going to score 30 each. But she's going to bet them Vikings.
Only time I'll cheer for the Vikings.
Bengals versus Steelers in a AFC North division rivalry type matchup.
We disagree here, but I'm not putting money on it.
So. We disagree. So I'm betting the Bengals minus 4.5 here. They're coming off a bye.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing. I think that on the Steelers side, as much as they did get TJ Watt back, their Minkah Fitzpatrick, one of the best defenders, is out. I just think that the Bengals are a better team all around. Statistically, if you look at every single category, they're better ranked than the Steelers are. Yeah, okay, the Steelers got one win last week. Let's not go crazy here.
Steelers are at home though.
I think the Bengals, they're at home. I think the Bengals are gonna kind of start finding their stride a little bit here and be a better team than they were in the first half of the season. So I'm going with the Bengals.
All right.
We differ, but she's not gonna bet it.
We're not betting the household.
This is one we're on the opposite sides also. Chiefs-Chargers, which is a great game. They flexed this game. We're supposed to be a Sunday afternoon game, but now it's the night game.
I don't know. I say the Chiefs because Mahomes, that motherfucker, is doing everything right. He's throwing massive touchdowns, no interceptions, nailing it. The team's just there's a strong team. I don't feel that way at all by the Chargers. I know the Chargers are getting 6.5 here, but the Chiefs are definitely going to win by 1 touchdown because that's how they do it. They don't just kick field goals. They win by touchdowns. So, but again, I have a disdain for the Chiefs. So
also, Christina almost hit an elderly gentleman.
I wasn't going to say that.
This guy was talking a little trash. His game was over. The Chiefs did good, and it could be a 1-yard run stop, and he was rooting for the Vikings so hard. Great, we're gonna go
in my ear.
Home field advantage for the Chiefs. Home field advantage for the Chiefs. It was just like a biggest troll session. It's brutal.
I did have to turn around and say a few words to him. He shut up, and then as soon as the game was over, he walked out. You turn around, they were gone. So he was scared, but it was still annoying. If you're gonna be a fan, okay, here's one golden rule, just very quickly. I know we want to end this, but if you don't have gear on for that team, you do not cheer against people who are the opponent with their gear on. So if you're a Chiefs fan and I'm a Bills fan watching the Vikings, and I'm wanting the Vikings to lose, do not cheer for the Vikings to win because you're a Chiefs fan. You shut up.
Yeah.
You shut up.
Unless you have money on it.
No. You still
What's
should
your-
be polite. When we have money
True,
on games
that's
and
true.
we see that there are
As a
people
fan.
around us that are actual fans
Yeah.
in gear, then we're quiet
Be
about
quiet
it.
about it, yeah.
Yeah, we're not dicks. We know, like, if you're a fan, you've got gear on, that you have emotional desire for that team to win.
We've actually had times where me, Christine, Johnny Newberger, shout out, we're at a bar and like we bet the first half or whatever, and then we're realizing, oh shit, there's the two fans and they're all into it. It's
all
like
in.
we
We'll
can't
switch our bets or
the
we
bet.
stop.
or we stop doing it because we can't be rooting against them, feel like jerks.
Golden rule, people.
Look,
Follow
as
it.
much as we want to make money, we're not trying to live life like jerks here.
Yeah, don't be nasty to other
be
people.
nasty.
Just shut up. That's all. Okay.
All right, last game of the week. This is Monday Night Football in
Mexico.
Wow, she did it with more of the accent than I did.
Everybody knows that.
This is a good game, though. I mean, I think they do the game on purpose where they take two West Coast teams down because it's in Mexico City. Is that why they do it like that? Where
I don't know what their theory is on it.
I think it's because it's closer. They want to draw the fans. They want to get people who are in Mexico City to be fans of the Niners and fans of, I don't know.
They should send Buffalo over there. They'd be like, ooh, I want to go snow for a minute and go.
Christine taught Spanish for a few years, and I want to go snow.
I want to go snow.
That was offensive. So we're both betting this game. I'm personally on the over here. I just think that, like, first of all, the Niners are too much with McCaffrey and stuff like that. I think, she could talk about that one. But I just think that between the two teams here, it depends who's playing quarterback. They don't know yet whether or not it's Kyler Murray or Colt McCoy. Last week, or this past Sunday, McCoy did a really good job of managing the offense, and it wasn't what Kyler Murray does, which is take the ball in the shotgun. You're 5'3", you look around, you can't see any receivers because you're 5'3", but you run like a 3.8 40-yard dash, so you just wait and you just start running around like it's a video game, which he loves to play, and then you just find a guy open. Colt McCoy was actually running their offense, and it looked good. And people were saying on some of the shows, should they like basically let Kyler get healthy and then,
for like the rest of the season?
I don't know.
I mean, he has issues with his coach. He's always arguing with his own coach. Like, he does not have good team camaraderie there. But I'm still going Niners. They look good. They've been doing well. I mean, Mariota isn't really that great of a quarterback, but his entire team that surrounds him is helping him look like a good one.
we talk about Garoppolo.
Garoppolo, excuse me.
No, you're good.
Why am I saying Mariota? Who's
I don't know.
Mariota?
He's on the Falcons.
I picture the man, but I said the wrong name.
They both
They're
have a nice
both-
jawline.
They both have Italian names, and that's where I got confused.
They both have somewhat nice complexion, skin.
Oh,
I don't know.
okay. Well, now you're just getting more into it.
Scruffy, maybe.
Anyways.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, no, that's all. My point is, I think the 49ers look good.
Yeah, we said it before. I think they're going to be, top of the NFC. One interesting weird stat, though, that I saw was that Cliff Kingsbury, the coach of the Cardinals, he's the only coach in the Super Bowl era with a certain amount of games under his belt that's coach that he has a winning record when he's an underdog and a losing record when he's a favorite.
So why don't you have your money on the Cardinals? Because
I
all
don't
I'm
believe-
hearing is
I don't believe in
the
that bullshit.
Cardinals are going to be really good, but I'm betting the over instead.
No, I don't believe in that bullshit. But it was an interesting stat. So people who like those interesting stats, mark it down in your book. And if somebody asks you why you flipped the coin and bet on the Cardinals, you could pull that one out for yourself. Okay.
Stupid.
All right. Just a little bit of a wrap up. What are we betting? So I'm betting the under on Thursday night. Christine's got the Packers. We both like the Eagles.
It's an easy one.
My lock is the Commanders -3, which Christine's also on. Then I'm going to go Jets money line. And that's on you.
Yes, that's my lock of the week. Giants versus Lions. We said Giants are always coming through, and this is against the Lions, so that's ridiculously easy. Lock of the week, go Giants. Put the mortgage on the Giants. Then we're taking the Raiders just because we're trying to be nice, to show some love for the city in which we reside in. That's what you have to do. And they're not in our conference, so it's okay if we ask for them to win on occasion.
Well, the Raiders are in the AFC conference, yes. but they're not in a division.
The division. I hate these terms. This is
terms.
so stupid. These terms. My point was when we lived in Miami, we were not putting any money on Miami because screw that place.
2 blocks away from us, where Allegiant Stadium is, Derek Carr is crying last week. Everybody's got a soul and a heart here. Come on, bet for his kids. He's got like 10 of them. He's a religious guy. I don't know if he does, but we'll fact check it.
Anyways.
Yeah.
All right, I'm taking the Vikings against the Cowboys. Sorry, Cowboys fans, but we talked about this. I don't think you blame me too much.
No, I got those Bengals. I think they're going to roll on the Steelers, even though division matchups are tough and the Steelers are at home. I'm going out on a limb and saying that the Bengals are still going to win. Then the last game we both talked about, which was Monday night.
I got Niners, and we don't know why he talked all this great stuff about the Cardinals and took the under or the over.
I gave a few facts. I think, the Niners. I mean, it's 8 points, more than a touchdown, but
TMZ facts is what he gave us.
yeah. So we're gonna wrap it up. Christine's gonna get this stuff going here.
I always forget this part.
Guys, if you've made it this long, which you didn't, unless maybe Dad, you watching still? He watches them all. I got it. Shout out to Dad. Like, subscribe, do all those things. We're gonna start doing a little, putting it out there a little bit more marketing. We got a little bank of content so far. Maybe we're going to have some guests soon. We actually might be doing an upcoming episode on the World Cup. So the World Cup is coming up, and amazing place to watch the World Cup is in Las Vegas, Nevada, with all the sports books and so on. Mm-hmm. So we might have Gonzo, who was a former Major League Soccer player, come on and give us his take on the World Cup.
Bets we should make.
And the bets and the pre-bets. So like who's going to win the thing and do all that. Mm-hmm. And we don't know a ton about soccer, but we're going to open up our world.
And we want to make money. So
we want to make money.
So tune in next week to hear how you can make money on soccer.
Or football.
Football.
All right, everybody. We love you all.
Okay, that's too
and
much.
Good night.
Couple of bettors.
I want to make money. Couple of bettors.
Couple of bettors.